It's Chris here, first-time nutritionist of Whole KR. What I'd like to do today is cover what an unhealthy diet is. So an unhealthy diet is essentially a diet that's comprised of a lot of hyperpalatable foods. So this is essentially high-fat, high-sugar foods. Now this is detrimental to us because they're very easy to overeat. They're not very satiating, so they don't really fill us up. Therefore they're very easy to overconsume, which means that our calorie intake for the day is going to be very, very high. Now, if we eat calories in excess, that then is going to lead to body weight gain and body fat storage, which we know then can lead to overweight and obesity. Now, with obesity, that's going to be linked and associated with many sort of adverse health conditions, such as type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease. It's going to be associated with some forms of cancers, and then it's going to cause depression perhaps, and then overall sort of quality of life and self-esteem. When it comes to building a healthy diet, there's always going to be foods that you need to consume and then foods that you need to avoid. Now, these foods that I need to avoid are basically, again, these hyperpalatable foods. There's high fat, high sugar foods, very high calorie, which offers very little amount of nutrition in return, i.e. very low in protein, fibre and micronutrients. So these are vitamins and minerals. When it comes to building your own nutrition plan, we always work off the 80-20 rule. So there's a big belief that you need to be 100% perfect to get these sort of health benefits from nutrition, where that's simply not the case. So I always like playing the 80-20 rule, meaning that 80% of food is naturally occurring, minimally processed, and 20% can be these sort of fun, hyperpalatable foods, i.e. high fat, high sugar, assuming that your total daily calorie intake is in check, which allows to maintain a nice healthy body weight. This is 100% fine to do. And with this, it's going to avoid burnout, boredom, relapse, and then weight gain. So whenever we look at building a diet plan or an approach, we always have to think of the sustainability and the longevity. So we need to keep this in the forefront of our minds. So when we look at foods to consume, we're going to look at these, again, nutrient-dense, high-quality based foods that are naturally occurring, where these hyperpalatable foods, high fat, high sugar, are going to be kept to a bare minimum. So these high fat, high sugar foods are basically all like the nice foods that you like to have. So things like chocolate, crisps, cookies, cakes, everything like that. Even like going to evening meals, pizzas, takeaways, everything like that. So what we need to do is look at this 80-20 rule and ask yourself the question, where are you on this sort of continuum? Are you 60%, 40%? If so, the question is, how do we now get you from that 60% all the way up to the 80%? So we can vastly improve the quality of our diet just by making simple food swaps. Now, for your evening meals, we're always going to look at and ask ourselves the questions: how much food can we fit on this plate for the smallest amount of calories in return? So this is going to offer us a huge amount of nutrition value and a small amount of calories in return, which is again is going to help us maintain a healthy body weight. So things like lean meat, fish and vegetables are going to be an excellent way to sort of base your meal. And then you could put in some carbohydrates such as rice, pasta, potatoes, things like that, based on your activity levels for the day. Generally speaking, the more active you are, the more carbohydrates you need to fuel performance. Now, when it comes to snacking based stuff, whether it be like chocolate, crisps, cakes, cookies, things like that, we need to sort of decrease these because again, they're not going to offer a huge amount of nutrition in return, but loads of calories. So my favourite go-to one is always a Greek yogurt or skyr yogurt, which is going to be very, very high in protein, and I always put some fruit in it, so I'm getting some essential vitamins and minerals and fibre, and that's going to keep me very, very satiated, very full, because you know that protein, fibre are two very, very satiating nutrients that we need to consume in our diet. A big issue I see people do when they start a new dieting approach is basically try to jump in the deep end. They try and employ everything at once. Now, again, if you're at 60% and you want to get to that 80%, don't expect to do that overnight. Focus on 1 week, can get from 60 to 65. Week 2, 65 to 70. Where in 4 to 6 weeks time, you're where you need to be. So don't feel like you need to get everything absolutely perfect at once. Think of it as just a building process. You always want to add in layers throughout the week. As long as you're doing something a little bit better than you did the previous week, you're heading in the right direction. Just be nice and patient, consistent with the process, and you'll achieve your goals before you know it.